miskâsowin journey, I became a little overwhelmed. The truth is, I don't think I fully understand who I am in relation to treaties yet. This course has given me a pretty good idea and has definitely allowed me to think about miskâsowin in more depth, but I think this understanding is a learning process that will continue throughout my life. So here's my artistic representation of my current understanding of miskâsowins. My artwork is of me as a treaty person. I identify as a treaty person because I haven't really had the opportunities to make a difference in relation to treaties or develop my treaty relationship into a partnership just yet. I'm still learning and growing in terms of treaties, and I'm not really able to offer partnership roles in relation to treaties just yet. On my left arm, I acknowledged our 8 Cree concepts we have focused on: miskâsowin, tapwewin, miawachetowin, wakotowin, wawachetowin, miskâsowin, pimawachetowin, and kicheasamatatuin. Everything I incorporated onto my body relates back to one or more of these concepts, which I attempted to intertwine throughout my piece. I first started off my piece by naming myself and how I identify. In my first weekly engagement, I very much struggled in naming myself. I wasn't sure where exactly I stood. Now that I have a better and clearer understanding of how I identify, naming myself as a white settler Canadian can align with miskâsowin, wakotowin, and miskâsowin. The flags on my torso were also inspired by my first weekly engagement. The flags represent my heritage and where I live now. I focused my 4th weekly engagement on Mother Earth after I was inspired by the Mindful Land Acknowledgement seminar. I wanted to incorporate Mother Earth into my miskâsowin understanding because she is very sacred to the Indigenous culture and I care very much about the environment. I attempted to paint my hair as a garden to represent the growth I have made and will continue to make in my miskâsowin journey. This portion of my art piece also makes me think of wawakotowin, living in reciprocity. I try my best every day to live in reciprocity and give back to the environment as much as possible. On my right arm, I explained exactly how my family has benefited from treaties. During my 5th weekly engagement, I dug into my family history to gain more information. It was very interesting to make connections from my family history to the concepts we have discussed throughout the course. Going through this process really helped me with trying to understand my personal journey of miskâsowin, tapwewin, pimawachetowin, miskâsowin, and wawakotowin can also intertwine in this section of my art piece. The heart on my chest symbolizes that I am a caring and big-hearted person. I care very much about pretty much everything, and I consider that important in terms of miskâsowin. To properly teach treaties in the classroom, you need to care, and I very much do. Tapwewin is an important part of this process, and I care about sharing these difficult and necessary truths in as many ways as possible, which also allows for miawachetowin. I care very much about being a good and passionate teacher, and my dedication can also align with kicheasamatatuin as being caring, as well as my dedication to treaties is sacred to me. Being a caring person also comes with experiencing many emotions. Chelsea Vowell reassured me of my emotional side by stating emotions are going to run high. That is an inevitable part of these vital conversations. Next on my body is the infinity sign on my hips. This infinity sign symbolizes my lifelong journey in the miskâsowin process. I forever want to be thinking about the 8 Cree concepts we have focused on during the course. The infinity symbol is a sacred symbol, so I decided to put it on a very sacred part of my body. As we learned from Wendell Starblanket and Fort Gopal, and as I have discussed further in my 3rd weekly engagement, women are very sacred and powerful beings. Putting the symbol on the spot reminds me to always remember that I am sacred and powerful. Miawachetowin, making good relationships, can also include making good relationships with yourself, which I am reminded of in this section of my piece. I painted my legs in yellow, green, and blue to symbolize the promise of the treaty agreement. From the First Nation side of the handshake, the promise was interpreted as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows. I wanted to honor this process in my miskâsowin piece. I drew from my 4th weekly engagement, in which I painted a flower pot with the yellow, green, and blue as well. I wanted to recognize these promises in my piece because as I want to teach younger grades, promises are strongly focused on within the treaty education curriculum. Acknowledging the importance of promises can also connect to tapwewin, miawachetowin, miskâsowin, and kicheasamatatuin. I left my hands and my feet blank or empty to represent all that I don't know yet. Focusing on my feet, I thought of my 6th weekly engagement as I expanded on our class treaty walk. Our feet were able to take us on such a journey when we participated in our treaty walks, and I know that I will continue to learn and disrupt normative narratives, that my treaty walk isn't over yet. My hands are left open, and they are also facing outwards to symbolize that I'm open to new ideas, new teachings, and most importantly, being uncomfortable. Chelsea Vowell states, "We cannot pretend that this subject matter is anything but difficult. This class has challenged me to step out of my comfort zone in many ways and has reminded me that it is okay to be uncomfortable about these difficult topics. As long as I continue to stay open and be uncomfortable, I know I can teach effective and efficiently." Thank you.